Madayaw Mabuhay. This morning is I will be going to discuss Republic Act number 10533, which is this republic is enacting, enhancing the Philippines basic education system by strengthening its curriculum and increasing the number of years for basic education, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. So it be enacted by the Senate, House of Representatives of the Philippines, and Congress Assembly, which is this republic is to strengthen the curriculum, or the kailangan ang curriculum is a nasa ligon for to use of the teachers, or tinatawag na kailangan ipadayag or sa kadaghanan na ang curriculum, it is the basis of the teachers when it comes of the teaching process. And then sa sa section 1, short title, it is the act shall be known as the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. So this article is Enhance the Basic Education Act of 2013, says that na kani nga article ginagamit ni siya sa pagpalig-on sa mga curriculum, sa mga teaching process of the teachers. And now let's proceed to the section 2. Section 2 is the declaration of the policy, which the state shall establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education. So the relevant of this is to need or people to country societies of large, which likewise it is a very hereby declared by the policy of the state that every graduate of basic education shall be empowered individual who has learned through a program that is rooted and sound of educations, which means that this section that declares the policy and the government to support all the stakeholders, all the government to support the basic education. The article says all graduate basic educations must lig-on ang ilang learning throughout the students, will create a critical thinking and utilizing the process of learning. So now for the section 3, give for the purpose of state shall create a functional basic education system that will develop productive and responsible citizenship, or equip with the essential competences, skills, and rules for both lifelong learning, employment, and order achievement this state shall. So sa section 3, give the students or the individual citizens that there are opportunity to receive a quality of education that is empowered to compete the basic or basic educations, which is sound by curriculum and international standards. Now for the B, broaden goals and high schools education for college preparations, vocational and technical career opportunities, as well as creative and sports and entrepreneurial employment and rapidly changing, increasing a globalized and environment. So not just ang estudyante, they are not only focusing the learning, but it also focusing sometimes the sports with the career for sa ilang grow up. So letter C is make education learner oriented and responsive to needs and cognitive and cultural capacity for circumstances, diversity of learners, schools, communities through the appropriate language, teaching and learning, including mother tongue and learning resources. We all know that we are a first language, which is a mother tongue. So in that cases, there are some of learners kasi nga dili sila makasabot sa mga other language, other mga kuan. So the teachers or the individual will come up to adjust whatever the language we are facing, ana ba. So kailangan mag-adjust jud ang individuals, including sa learning or resources nga sa nasa nasa environment, nasa community. So and section 3, basic education is intended to meet basic learning needs with provides the foundation which subsequent learning can be based. It encompasses kindergarten, elementary, and secondary education, as well as alternative learning or system for out of school and those with special needs. So like what I have said kanina, no, so which it's the learning can base of compasses or kindergarten, elementary, and secondary education, as well as alternative learning system are out of school learners and those with special needs, so intended to make basic learning. So kailangan dili dayon hanato hatagan ang mga ang estudyante sa mga lisod no na learning if dili pa nila kabisado, which is kailangan sa nimo tuluhan or kailangan sa nimo i-process ang ilang learning throughout your discussion or whatever. So section 4 is enhanced and basic education program. The enhanced basic education program encompasses less 1 or 1 year kindergarten education, 6 years of elementary education, 6 years of secondary education. That sequences, no, secondary education includes 4 years junior high school. So di ba na ay kindergarten 1 year, 6 years for elementary, 6 years for secondary, and 4 years to junior high school. So mao na siya ang ginabasis sa mga teachers for the students, no. So kindergarten and secondary education refers to the stage of compulsory basic education. It consists 4 years for every year. So kailangan, no, dili dayon mo ang estudyante mo kuan ba mo tugpa kundi mo take sa jud sa every grade level na ilang eskwelahan. So learners is learners of secondary education refers third stage of compulsory. Sa mao na siya kanina kung yung dili pwede nga is ang estudyante magtugpa or like dili kanang mo kuan ba mo kuan ayon mo ambak grade 1 to grade 5, no, because state that na no every learner is compulsory to take basic education. So next is basic education shall be delivered language understood by the learners as the language strategic role in shaping formative years of learners for kindergarten and the first 3 of elementary education, instruction, teaching materials, and assessment of regional native language. So mao tong giningon nako gani deep ed, no. Ang mga elementary ginatawag na siya of deep ed. So learners Department of Education shall formulate mother tongue transition program grade 4 grade 6 Filipino English shall be gradually introduced language of. So mao to kanina, no, sa grade 1 to 3 is kailangan pa og mga mother tongue, AC to AC mga language, but ang grade 4 to grade 6 dapat kabalo na sila sa Filipino languages ay Filipino subject or English language to become a primary language through instruction of a secondary para sa ilang to level up ba sa ilang languages. So to the purpose of mother language, first language LA refers to the language of language first learner by child, which is he or she identified as a native language used served by the other, which he is knows best uses for the included Filipino. So mao to kanina no, every language dapat kabalo jud ang mga bata. Mag-learn jud sila na mag-learn until na makuha nila ang ilang language na ginatun. Okay. Section 5, Curriculum Development. DepEd shall be formulate, design, and details. So, mao to kanina, curriculum development sa Section 5 is kailangan jud ang DepEd shall formulate the design or the details to enhance basic educations for the curriculum and to commission from the higher commission education, which is at CHED. No, gina-craft na nila dito and then the teachers will easy to understood, or not only the teachers sa nagamit ng curriculum but the students, which is the CHED la, so making the lesson plan or everything. So mana to achieve the effective enhanced basic education curriculum, DepEd shall undertake consultations with other nation government agencies. Mo to kanina ginaingon ako na kailangan no sa pagbuhat og curriculum dili lang individual kailangan na. So kailangan maki-communicate ka sa the other agencies with the government stakeholders including but unlimited Department of Labor Employment kana sila DOLE or Professional Regulation Commission or PRC, which is the Private Public School Associations na or organization sa teachers organize the Parents Teachers Associations or Chambers, Commerces and Matters. Okay. Now, the DepEd shall adhere to following standards of principles in developing the enhanced basic educations. So, first one is the curriculum shall be relevant, responsive, and research basis. So, kailangan dili jud ang curriculum dapat na ay research basis. Curriculum shall be culture sensitive. Curriculum shall be contextualized, global, and then curriculum shall be pedagogical approaches which is suitable for the all students needs. So the curriculum shall adhere to principles and framework of mother tongue, which is multilingual education or MTB MLE, which starts from where the learners are from what they already know, processing by own, unknown, and instructional materials to capable teachers to implement the MTB curriculum and available. So, letter G is the curriculum shall use a spiral progression approach to ensure a mastery of knowledge and skills after each level. So, and H is the curriculum shall be flexible enough to individual and able to allow the school to localize or indigence, which is enhance the same base or the respective educational social context. Sa ang F is curriculum shall be adhered to principle framework mother tongue based multilingual education. So like what I said kanina nga, ang curriculum is basis jud siya sa mga educations o sa mga teachers Section 6 is curriculum consultative committee. There are shall created curriculum consultative committee cleared by DepEd secretary his or duty. So kailangan ang mubuhat sa mga curriculum is sa mga higher educations like sa mga secretary or sa with the help of individual. And DepEd secretary here is duty authorized representative with members composed but limited representative each level. So kailangan limited lang jud, which is a CHED, TESDA, and DOLE or PRC, Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, which is it is the representative from business chambers or the agencies. SHOP, Technology Business Process or Outstream ITO BPO Industry Association is consultative committee shall oversee the review of evaluation of implementation of basic education and curriculum. So sila ang technology EDR want to evaluate the implementations with a basic education curriculum to recommend and a formulation of a reference of curriculum. So teacher education training to ensure the enhanced basic education program meets the demands of quality of teachers, school leaders, or DepEd, and the trade collaborations. Ana. So, yung panahon kanina, no, every teachers is must be have a quality no to lead the students or school no in a DepEd or trade or something to collaborate the partnership of government, academic or industrial or any no sa mga partnership agencies which is LGU or something ana. So in the service training contents pedagogy, current DepEd teachers shall be retrained to meet content and performance standard of K-12. So ana. So kailangan should na ma-meet jud ang learning or performance standard sa mga curriculum no for the students. And training of a school leadership, superintendents, principal, subject area as coordinators and other instructional school leaders shall likewise undergo workshop and training. So kailangan no ang mga school leaders, ang mga principal kailangan sila na ay sila training sa mga workshop or para ay ma-enhance ang ilang skills, the role of academy or administrative community leaders o any no sa schools na mga nagagunit sa leadership no for us to enhance their learning so section 8 hiring of graduates of science, mathematics, statistics, engineering and other specialist subject with as qualified applicants, technical vocational courses, higher educations no. Now section 26, 27 and 28 Republic Act of 1736, otherwise known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalism Act or 1994, which the DepEd or the private education institution shall hire as the relevant of so kailangan no the graduate science, mathematics, statistics, engineering, other specialized subject before sila magkuha kailangan is na sila yung mga workshop training. So, section 9 is career guidance and counseling advocacy. This is career guidance or counseling advocacy to properly guide the students choosing the career tracks or the intended portion of DepEd and a coordination of a duly TESDA or the CHED shall regularly conduct a provision of the article of section 27, 95 or the Act of 2004. Now let's proceed to the section 12. Section 12 ay section 10 it is very kuan lang siya, it is the expansion of capacity which is the benefits according by the Linguistic Act of 1845 expand lang ang government assistance to students. So as usual kailangan talaga sa ng mga estudyante na ay help ang mga government through the cash assistance or mga like scholarship sa estudyante para makatabang sa ilang school, which is section 11 appropriations. The Secretary of Education shall include the Department of Program, which is operations of the enhanced basic education program to initial funding of which shall be charged against the appropriations of the PED4. So kailangan dili lang students so ang ginatagan og assistance dapat na-upload sa mga DepEd. For us ang mga DepEd teachers is usahay maglisod sila sa mga materials, especially katong mga naa sa lagyo na mga eskwelahan kailangan dyan nila also supportive throughout the government officials. So, section 12 is transitory provision. DepEd, CHED, and TESDA shall formulate the appropriate strategies and mechanism needed to ensure smooth transition for existing tenures. So, kailangan the CHED or TESDA is naka-formulate sa appropriation for us the kanang smooth transition ba sa existing. So, then to manage the initial implementation technical vocations to TVS using school of DepEd, CHED, TESDA helps of to closely sa tanan effective of faculty so kailangan basic education is is sa section 8 is of shall be given a priority, no, priority. Individual is must shall be given the priority to enhance their needs of educations. So section 13, joint congressional oversight committee enhanced education program. So as we know na ang mga needs sa school ginapasa jud na sa mga local or sa mga government like sa kongreso, di ba? Section 14, mandatory education and review. By the end of the school year, no DepEd conduct the mandatory review, submit the meeting reports so in Congress. So ang DepEd no nagabuhat na sila og mid-year or report no to the pass by the Congress para next nga mga sila kuan na sila ay kani ginagamit nila dito ana kapitable paper ana. So ano siya. And then section 15, committee and international benchmark, the DepEd shall endorse to increase a year spending of education towards the immediate attainment of structural benchmark. So mana siya. Section 15 is implementing rules and regulation within 90 days of effectively as their DepEd no CHED or TESDA Director General. So kailangan no ang naga-implement ang mga DepEd og rules and regulations sa within the 90 days nila, no. 17 is separability clause, which is separability clause. It is a very provision of act held on the unconstitutional, the same or effective no validity of effective and the provision of hereof, and then effective of the provision act that it is invalid of unconstitutional. So 17 is repealing clause. 13 to provision bias batas pambansang Big 232. It is the Act of Public Act of 1955. It is a governance basic of education. Act of Republic Act 953, Public Act of 736 shall older laws, decrees, executive orders that rules and regulation contrary for and constituent for provision and act of hereby and modified education. Section 19, effective clause. Act take effective in 15 days after the publication of official. No, kailangan no ang effective clause dapat kailangan jud effective ang mga teachers the days of their reports ana. So and Republic Act of 11650 March 11 to an act instituting policy inclusion service for learners with disability support inclusive education, establishing inclusive learning resource. So kailangan no ang inclusive instituting policy is kailangan there are the inclusive education, establishing inclusive learning. So kailangan na say inclusive education, inclusive learning for all student, and treatment of the teachers dapat pantay-pantay ana, or not only the teachers but the individual ana. So section 20 no section 21 it is the section 20 it is the otherwise known as a social reform poverty no wala siya 20 poverty of educations continuing resource needs learners disabilities DepEd through advisory committee. And so section 21, instruction materials learners with disabilities publisher shall grant the DepEd authority to inscribe adapted instructional materials into accessible format which include limited braille large print format. So kailangan no ang mga teachers is kailangan no na instructional materials learners with disabilities kailangan na suitable jud ang mga materials na ginagamit sa teachings when it comes sa teachers kay there are some students sa disabilities kasi nga dapat maggamit ka og mga materials nga pwede sa disabilities pa dapat na hindi makita pwede sound kung naay dili maka yaw-yaw pwede right ba, so for us to pantay ang imong gina-aim nimo ang inclusive education sa tanan. And then Republic Act 893, otherwise known as the Intellectual Property Code of Philippines, amended the publisher of new adapted instructional materials shall provide no later than second working day after the adoption. So kailangan diligent mo lampas so are accessible for everyone so accessible version shall be produced by DepEd by non-profit accessible for producers, which shall indicate a copyright or the date that the original publication shall be copied, distributed without cost order the learners. So kailangan walay money involved for sa tanan mga disabilities or teachers in charge of instructional purposes, products, instruction materials, learners with disabilities. So kailangan talaga sa teachers is not only teachers or coming teachers, mas effective ang teachers sa tanan. Effective ang teachers ang teaching sa tanan. Dapat maging producer ta sa mga materials na dili kaayo gasto And then 30, facilitate access published works from or blend visual impact otherwise spent disability international local or global rules. So this is the last section 25, protection the learners with disabilities. Secretary says issues the policy guidelines or implement a governance levels DepEd or protect learners with disabilities with the LRC school premises against reflect abuse. So kailangan ang section 25 is protection of learners with disabilities. So kailangan dili jud pwede nga everyone are left behind good sa discussion, like bisag na disabilities, kailangan your treatment to your students must be fair to us because sometimes in the classroom kasi there are students nga with not disabilities and disabilities naghalo sila, so sometimes mahitabo ang bullying or not conditions ba so you are a teachers, you must be wake up and make your learning transition smooth sa limong learning process. So it is a very important sa Act of 277 as amended, Public Act of 10627 as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2015, Republic Act of 7620, Special Protection of Children. So kailangan ang special protection of children. So that's all of my part of my report. Actually it's a very brief lang, concise lang to because it's a very understandable because it's section and it's very important to learn and to have a to manage as soon as teachers kailangan na we are basis sa atong pagka teachers. And then if we know that we are elementary students, I am elementary students, I will do my best to protect to my students or disabilities or non-disabilities. And that's all. Thank you.